What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today, we got my guy Publish X, man. He got a new doc for us that just dropped today. The full story of Foolio, man. Now, this past weekend, pretty sure all of us know, it was the tragic passing of Foolio. I want to say RIP Foolio. But we got to check out this full story of Foolio, man. It's a lot that goes into it. We checked out a ton of docs on Foolio and this whole thing that's been going on down there in Florida. But yeah, let's check this one out, man. Publish X, man, he make the best docs on YouTube, man. Let's go, Netflix. Where the deal at, man?
June 23rd, 2024. At around 4:40 a.m., Tampa police were called regarding a shooting outside of a hotel that left one person dead. That person was identified as no other than Foolio, one of Florida's most controversial rappers. Over a dozen attempts on his life and surviving gunshot wounds 4 different times. Foolio played a significant part in Jacksonville's gang wars, and he enjoyed taunting his ops. They tried and failed multiple times, but karma would catch up to him, all while celebrating his 26th birthday.
You could try though, no cap. You could try. But I ain't gonna count. When the paramedics and the crime scene people get there, look at that name. Fake shot, body shot. You could try the CPR, mouth to mouth. Can't come back, no cap.
4 people were shot here in the parking lot, and one of those people died here on the scene. The other 3 people are currently at the hospital.
Let's do it. Let's go. I always remember, boy, your mama's son died, boy. Your mama's son died, boy. Stop playing, boy.
Oh, that's wild.
That's him backing out right now.
Like, bro was really like the biggest op, man. Like, he was, bro. It's wild how many, and it's crazy. Like this last week, man, I'm thinking like, bro, he was into it. He was into it. Them. He said this about bro. Like, he had beef pretty much with everybody. Everybody.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Well, I could name at least 30 dead people, no cap, that's on the other side of the field that got their ass dropped. No cap.
Before we get into that, we need to understand who and why somebody would want Foolio gone. Foolio has a reputation as one of Jacksonville's most menacing rappers. This started all the way back into his teen years. Foolio was born and raised in Florida's Duval County out of Jacksonville. His hood in particular is known as 6 Block. When asked about his childhood years, he simply stated it lacked any kind of quality of life. By the 9th grade, he had already given up on the idea of school, and he was eventually kicked out. He was ordered to attend an alternative school. The problem was, it was in his ops neighborhood. On the very first day, one of his ops was shot and killed while waiting for the bus. Foolio was online that afternoon, dissing him, leading people to believe Foolio was the shooter or had something to do with it in general.
When I got there, everybody was like, bro, they say you had something to do with such and such time, bro. We know you had something to do with it.
People at school, of course, were talking, and after the last class of the day, Foolio got on the bus home, but his ops were not far behind. After hopping off the bus, he only walked 1 block before a car pulled up and opened fire on him and his friends. Foolio was hit in the leg and his hip was displaced, leaving him to crawl to safety all while shots were still being fired behind him. He crawled on the porch of a woman's house, pleading for help, but the woman simply told him to get off her property. The last thing he remembers was the EMT standing over him before he passed out and woke up later in the hospital, surrounded by cops.
Yo, so this was all an extension from bro going to school in his ops territory, and one of his ops just so happening to get killed on it, bro, first day of school, and they fire off at him. Bro, that's wild. That's wild. That sounds like some movie shit. He definitely had to have something.
On the porch of a woman's house, pleading for
wild.
help, but the woman simply told him to get off her property. The last thing he remembers was the EMT standing over him before he passed out and woke up later in the hospital, surrounded by cops. Before recovering, he was already being interrogated about the shooting, along with the murder from that morning. Fortunately for Foolio, he was able to prove he was already on the bus that morning, the same time that it happened, and he was let go to recover. But after that day, things were never the same. Foolio doubled down in the streets, surviving and living on his own terms. He always rapped but never had the money for studio time, and that only motivated him to get money in the streets even more.
praying for better, but walk with the devil. My pain, I got words.
Foolio started getting noticed for his music around 2015 after dropping songs like Coming Up. After getting a few 100,000 plays online, he knew this was his path. Unlike some rappers, Foolio was really living the crazy stories he rapped about, and it was much deeper than just music. KTA, or Kill Them All, was the crew that he ran with, and he was the leader. At the same time that Foolio was getting recognition, there was another Jacksonville rapper who was also blowing up. That was Young and Ace, and his crew went by ATK. Instead of uniting and making music together, KTA and ATK would split the city in half and start an almost decade-long war. The saddest and most unfortunate part of this story is the fact that their issues started over what they quoted as a misunderstanding. People started losing their lives, and there was no going back for either crew. In 2017, a man named Zion Brown was killed inside his home at 1 in the morning. DeAndre Thomas was later identified as the killer. The night it went down, DeAndre threw a brick through the window and immediately started spraying bullets.
According to witnesses, Thomas broke out a sliding glass door, walked inside, and began shooting.
2 women were hit as well, but Zion would suffer fatal wounds. It was later discovered that Zion was actually Foolio's cousin, and his killer DeAndre allegedly ran with ATK. KTA and Foolio immediately started planning their get back. Not long after, Young and Ace, his brother, and 2 others from ATK were celebrating a birthday. They pulled up to a red light, and in a matter of seconds another car pulled alongside them. Before they could react, 50 rounds had already entered their car. Ace was hit 8 different times, while his brother and 2 friends were killed instantly. Ace would later make a full recovery while at home on house arrest. Meanwhile, Foolio was online having a field day, dissing ATK every chance he got. The craziest part about all this is that their music careers were both taking off in the midst of it.
And that's the thing though, man. Like, the history with Young and Ace and Foolio, even though they started coming up at the exact same time, can y'all imagine if none of this would have happened, if nobody's dropped, if nobody got killed, how united Jacksonville could have been with Foolio and Ace on the same team? That would have been crazy. But the fact of it is, this had nothing to do with no music. This wasn't nothing to do with anything on wax. This was Foolio's cousin being killed, Foolio taunting Young and Ace's brothers and friends getting killed. Bro, it was bloodshed from the start. Literally from the start, man. It's just crazy. It's wild, man. And once bloodshed, bro, you can't go back. You cannot squash it. I understand, bro. It be mentors and activists saying, man, just these young brothers got to move past it. You know, yeah, in the perfect world, yeah, niggas could probably move past it in a perfect world. But listen, this is not a perfect world. Bro, you kill one of mine, or somebody you know that run with you kill one of mine, I'm not letting that go. It's forever up and stuck at that point. As sad as it is, bro, that's the saddest reality about our people, bro. We aren't going to let it go. Bro, niggas out here beefing about, they killing each other over females. What do you think? These niggas is not squashing nothing once family members start dying. Nothing.
ATK every chance he got. The craziest part about all this is that their music careers were both taking off in the midst of it.
At the
more
same
dissing and
time.
publicity, the more their music was being listened to. Things just got crazier from this point forward.
I've been popping so much pills cause this pain everlasting. Glock 45 with my waist, I'ma blast me. For the insta beef, I'ma catch it at the traffic.
In January of 2019, a rapper by the name of Boss Goon was gunned down after leaving a strip club in Jacksonville. The problem was, Boss Goon is the brother of K-Sue. K-Sue is not only ATK and Young and Ace's right-hand man, but he's also one of Jacksonville's most feared savages, and not somebody you'd ever want to cross. The following month in February, a 16-year-old who went by the name Bibi Osama was chased down and killed outside an apartment complex, all because he was friends with Foolio.
The person or people responsible for his death has not been captured.
K-Sue released a song right after, borderline admitting to the killing and making a mockery of Bibi, while Foolio released his song, Bibi's Story, paying his respects. At this point, anybody and everybody was a target, especially Foolio and Ace. Make no mistake, they wanted each other dead. Foolio would be shot at multiple times and even had a bullet graze his head.
Y'all wanted me to die, y'all wanted me to get killed. I can't go that easy, like, oh shit, all the big I said I can't go that easy.
But you know what's crazy, man? It's kind of like the same thing with Young Dolph. Like, Dolph got, you know, we know the history of how many times they wanted to get Dolph. Bro, it's like, I feel like when people survive stuff like that, I'm a strong believer is that there's a bigger purpose for you. It's just up to you if you want to get out of the situation that you're in. And I feel like in Foolio's case, every time he got shot, he used that as, oh, well, look, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still moving and grooving. Y'all niggas tried and failed. Most people, they get shot, bro, they not going back to their city. They get shot, they leaving the state. They get shot, bro, nah. If I know that y'all can catch me, and y'all have caught me a couple of times, and I'm still here, bro, if I'm given another chance, I'm leaving it alone. And I'm not saying that's justifying what happened to Foolio, bro, because it's sad all around, bro. Like, kids are being killed. Like, it's crazy, man. But it's just like most people, bro, this happened to them, bro. They out of there. They not.
By now,
dealing
he
with
stated
this
he
no
wouldn't
more.
even leave his home without a gun. Meanwhile, Young and Ace was in Atlanta for a show. Afterward, he went to his hotel where he was shot at once again.
Yes, I'm calling from the Hampton Inn in Waycross.
Yes, sir.
It sounds like there's been gunshots or something here.
Ace survived for the second time, but lost another friend in the process. After the 3 shooters were identified as being from Jacksonville, it was obvious who was behind it. And since ATK was having trouble getting to Foolio, they decided to go after his girlfriend instead. Foolio's girlfriend, Bubin, was driving with their friend, and they too were shot at. She got hit in the head, knee, and even lost one of her fingers. The shooter was rumored to be an ATK affiliate named Leaky. Leaky was a well-known shooter and was allegedly responsible for 3 different murders in Foolio's neighborhood of 6 Block, including a rapper named Jump Out Squeeze who dissed Leaky. 10 days after the diss,
Hold on, is Leaky the one that was he close with J-Dot? Is that the one J-Dot be rapping
About Squeeze
about?
was leaving an Amazon warehouse after applying for a job, where he was pulled up on and killed on the spot.
Before 2 o'clock, police were called here. They were told that a 20-year-old man was standing outside the Amazon fulfillment center. He was trying to fill out a job application. Those suspects then ran up to this victim and then started shooting.
At this point, Leaky was a walking target, and his karma would catch up to him in September of 2020. Leaky was in a parked car smoking with Spenna Benz and 2 others, and they were caught off guard. Leaky was killed on the spot while everyone else walked away uninjured. Nobody was ever convicted for his death, but Leaky's sister claims it was Foolio. Foolio never admitted to this for obvious reasons, but he did drop a song with Rod K called All Gas where he rapped about Leaky shooting at him and his girlfriend and laughed at his death. Then he turned around and named another song after Leaky. Foolio wasn't the type to just sneak diss his ops. He made sure everybody knew exactly what was going on. And because of that, he was becoming one of the most hated men in Jacksonville.
His brother had got dropped, let's forget that. His daddy and sister had got popped, but he didn't say that. Had his mama wig, well.
While Foolio celebrated Leaky's death, ATK was already on the move. Foolio's friend, Spaz2X, was found dead at the Hilltop Village apartments, the same apartments that Bibi Osama was killed at. The very next day, Rod K was also killed in the exact same place. Spenna Benz then dropped a song right after dissing both of them and rapping the lyrics, "Fuck his last words, the last thing he seen was us." Spenna Benz.
Yeah, that was on that I Don't Smoke Kendra. Yo, this is, you know, bro, these niggas don't be scared of this, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'll be paranoid as hell. I would be so paranoid. But this goes to show, bro, this validates my point of how music and the streets, the politics with it, they're so similar nowadays, man. Like, you can't do nothing in the streets without it being on wax. You can't say nothing on wax without it happening in the streets, bro. Like, this is too real.
Benz is
out
friends
here.
with
It's
Young and Ace,
crazy.
and although Ace was laying low for a while after the Atlanta hotel shooting, ATK was still causing havoc. The beef between these crews had gotten so bad they weren't even safe outside their cities either. While on a trip to Houston, Foolio escaped death a 3rd time when his rental was shot up. He was hit in the neck, but made sure to hop online and let everyone know he was still alive and breathing.
That's why I'm hitting this vape so hard live. This vape is the reason I got shot, bro. I was going to get a vape for the gas station. That's how I got shot.
Both sides just continued going body for body. On January 15, 2020, KTA Lil Buck was gunned down in a shopping center in broad daylight. After a police manhunt, the 2 men involved managed to escape on foot through neighboring backyards. It took investigators 8 months to track down the 2 shooters of Lil Buck, and they were identified as no other than ATK, K-Su, and his own dad.
that we're going to be out there doing some paperwork. We do have a warrant for your arrest.
We have a warrant for your arrest for murder today.
What?
Yes.
For what?
You want your lawyer, so I can't tell you no more, but you'll be in trouble.
Allegedly, Kesu and his dad went out and killed Lil Buck in retaliation for their brother/son, Boscoon, from the year before.
But it's crazy though, cause this footage. So if it was allegedly Queso and his dad, his pops look a little old, bro. They run
shopping center in broad daylight. After a police manhunt, the two men involved managed to escape on foot through neighboring backyards.
Bro, that look like some young niggas, bro. I ain't gonna lie. A 40-something-year-old ain't gonna be running like that. I don't know.
It took investigators 8 months to track down the two shooters of Lil Buck, and they were identified as no other than ATK, Kesu, and his own dad.
We're going to be out there doing some paperwork. We do have a warrant for your arrest.
We have a warrant for your arrest for murder today.
What?
Yes.
For what?
You want your lawyer, so I can't tell you no more, but you'll be in trouble.
Allegedly, Kesu and his dad went out and killed Lil Buck in retaliation for their brother/son, Boscoon, from the year before. Currently, Kesu is facing not one, but 2 murder charges for Lil Buck and the 16-year-old Bibi Osama. Although most people outside of Jacksonville didn't know or understand what was going on, this entire feud would get nationwide exposure in March of 2021. And that's all because the song Who I Smoke by Young and Ace, Spinnin' Benz, Fast Money Goon, and Wappa with the Choppa. The song currently has over 50 million plays, making it one of the most popular diss songs to ever be released. There's no denying that it's a catchy remix to 1,000 Miles, but the lyrics were an extensive diss toward Foolio and KTA. Fast Money Goon even took credit for the shooting at Foolio in Houston on his verse. The song went viral and brought the beef between ATK and KTA to everyone's attention.
Listen, when this song dropped, look, I didn't know a lot. At this time, this was like 2021, I did not know anything. I knew who Foolio was. I listened to a lot of Young and Ace, but I was more so in tune with like his pain sound, like the pain music that he made. When this dropped, because this came out of nowhere, when this dropped, I'm like, they dropping names. I didn't know who Spins, who Goon or Wappa was at this time, bro. I was like, what? And they said all this. Man, it got crazy. That was a crazy year.
Foolio later admitted the song was hard, but he was not about to let that slide. He dropped his own song called When I See You, and he didn't hold back. In the music video, Foolio played the news clip about the shooting from years before that left Young and Ace's brother and 2 friends dead. He printed out photos of them and danced around the cemetery. But the most eerie part was a lyric where he stated, "Went out to eat on his birthday, 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way." Of course referring to the shooting that took the 3 of their lives, but more importantly mentioning the fact that it happened on 23's birthday, which we now know is a sad foreshadowing.
And it's June 23rd. Foolio got killed on his birthday after 4 people was shot. Bro, you can't fucking tell me that this energy that you put out don't come back to you. Bro, this shit is crazy. It's sad as hell, but it's so crazy, man. Like, it's scary, really. Like, y'all be careful what y'all put out into this universe, man.
At this point, Foolio was getting offers from multiple labels including QC, but he had turned them all down. He didn't want someone telling him who and what he could rap about, even though he could have taken the money and left Jacksonville for good. Instead, he continued to name drop dead ops in every song. While the beatbox challenge was going viral.
See, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You survived them other 3 shootings. You had a deal from QC. You could have took that $250,000, whatever they was going to front you as an advance, got up out of there, left it alone. You would be good. Just leave it alone. That's your out. You under a major microscope right now. You got security, everything around you. But this is the path that you wanted to continue to go down, man. Like, that was your opportunity. That was why you probably survived. Because, listen, you was given another chance. Another opportunity.
In 2021, Foolio rapped, Prosper got shot, Tay got shot, Desi got dropped, Nate got popped, Leaky got shot, Spaz face hot. Then ends it with Corbin got kidnapped, they found his bones, he was rotten. Corbin Johnson was the name of a kid who had been reported missing by his parents. For an entire year, he was never found until someone discovered his body wrapped in a plastic bag. Again, nobody was convicted for it, but Foolio kept mentioning his name in songs. Foolio was out for blood, and he wasn't stopping. He then dropped a song with the craziest title of all time, List of Dead Ops, and
Yo,
that's
I forgot
exactly what it
about that
was.
Foolio, man, you talking about my dead homeboy? Drop that. I'm on the seats right now. Just drop the loop.
The song starts off with Foolio dissing the kid who was shot and killed at the bus stop almost 10 years before. He then continued to mention over 30 different people's names, and it wouldn't be a Foolio diss if he didn't talk about ATK, ending it with this: Ace the only one who survived, see he blessed if you ask me, and if he's still trying to beef, remember he lost 3. At this point, more people wanted Foolio dead than you could count. He was feared and hated in Jacksonville, but on his block, he was king. 1 month after the song was released, Foolio was targeted again, leaving a studio session. As soon as he got into a car, 2 men ran up and shot over 100 rounds. According to Foolio, he emptied the clip back, to which they ran off.
So I'm at the studio in Jacksonville, a public studio, trying to finish my mixtape for my fans, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I walk out the studio, I'm walking down like the carport to my car. Anytime I walk anywhere, I got my gun in my hand, walking wherever in Jacksonville, like that's just how you gotta be. As they shooting, I'm like, boy, I had to locate where the shot was coming. I'm like, boy, what the fuck going on? Like, I'm dead, I know I'm dead. These niggas blowing like, so I lean back, up my gun, go to shooting back. I shoot my whole clip and shit.
This wasn't the last time Foolio would be targeted either. On October 8, 2023, Foolio's mom hopped on Instagram and broke the news that he was shot again and asked for prayers from his fans. Foolio then posted this photo that says, "All this money on my head, I'm supposed to been dead," which is actually lyrics from K-Su's song Been Dead, mocking him. Countless attempts on his life, as well as actually being shot 4 different times, Foolio still stayed alive. He and everyone knew this wouldn't be the last time, but if his ops were ever going to take him out, there was one day in particular that they wanted to do it on: his birthday.
And keep in mind, when he got shot, the last time he got shot before this, like before his death, was I think it was less than a year ago. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
On June 23rd, 2024, Foolio posted this video to his Instagram, publicly inviting his friends to come and celebrate his birthday with him.
Address pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock.
This was followed by more stories of him in an Airbnb, tagging Tampa, Florida, once again asking people to pull up.
Which is a, 3-hour drive from Jacksonville, just saying.
2 hours later, he was seen drinking and partying with a smaller group of people.
Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying? Happy birthday! Everybody got their shot, put their shot in the air, man. Okay, David. Everybody take their shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3.
And I want to say this. I didn't get to say this in the video where I talked about this. If you have a lot of ops, a lot of people in the state of Florida, some in Louisiana, that want your head, that want you popped, that want you gone out of here, you really got to be careful. I'm not saying that this is the case, but you got to be careful the amount of people that you keep around you. You got to be careful about, like, listen, you can't just post, "Oh, you want the Addy, just DM me. Hey, everybody, I'm in Tampa. Here's the show flyer. We're doing this, we're doing that." You can't do that, man. He was with a lot of people, bro. He was with a lot of people. And yeah, they could have all been his people, but who knows who they knew? Who knows who they knew? I'm just saying. You really got to be careful who you keep around you, bro. And I know y'all rappers, y'all be out here, y'all don't want security. I get it. You don't want to look pussy, whatever. Bro, I look pussy. I'm having security, bro. I'm having security, man. I don't care how it looks.
Hey, David, everybody take their shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3.
Knowing his reputation and how important his location is, it makes sense that he didn't invite 100 people to party with him. But oddly enough, he continued to update his story as if it were a timeline of the night, somewhat showing where he was and where he was going. If someone were looking for him, it may not have been too hard to find him. Not even an hour later, the police shut his Airbnb down and kicked him out. Not discouraged though, Foolio followed this with a post stating this was the best birthday ever. The following story shows him pulling up with his friends to a hotel, and another woman's point of view shows the same thing. Once again though, publicly posting his location, a fatal mistake. This was the last video Foolio would upload.
We deep as hell, 20 deep. lit everywhere we go.
At approximately 4:40 a.m., police were called to a Holiday Inn parking lot. 2 cars were on the scene. Both had been riddled with bullets. 4 people were injured, and 1 had his life taken. And we now know that was Charles Jones, or Julio Foolio. He had just turned 26 that night.
Social media world is called meta for a reason. It's make-believe. It's not real life. Real life is what happened to Foolio yesterday. This is not a game, is my message. This is not something that we're going to tolerate around town. I think the media, I think the citizens of Jacksonville, I think everyone feels the same way. This is not something that's okay. This is not something we're going to tolerate.
I don't know where this is going to go. For those of y'all that's in Florida, that's in the Jacksonville area, how's the city right now? What is going on down there? Y'all let me know. Is something brewing? I don't know, man. All I know is the amount of shots that I heard that was let off. This was for sure. They wanted him out of there at that very moment on his birthday. This was definitely planned. Who? I don't know. He had a lot of ops, man. Foolio had a lot of ops, man. Overall, man, you know, it's sad. This is a sad story, you know, because there's so much death. And, you know, and this is what comes with being, when you a fan of hip-hop, man, you listen to these people, these lyrics, the toxicity of it, you know, you kind of know as a fan in the back of your head, like, this probably ain't going to, you know, age well. But, you know, it's so much death, man. So many young lives that's being taken. It's sad. It really is sad. And I feel like this just reignited like a huge thing down there in Jacksonville. I don't know what's going to happen next, man. I really don't. The full story of Foolio, man. Link down below in the description for y'all to tap in with my boy Publish X, man. Incredible doc, quality, top tier, man. So, new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me. To the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV, man. RIP to everybody that lost their life in this, man. Sad. I'm out.